Told you we were going to bring in Jason Whitlock here in hour 2. He'll be with us for the rest of the program. Jason, let's start with there's so much excitement. How much did you enjoy just having the sort of buffet of Major League Baseball, NBA, and NHL, plus golf? If you're a NASCAR fan, that was out there. How much did you enjoy just all of this sort of buffet, we'll call it, of sports back again? It's literally the busiest August we've ever seen.
I enjoyed it. A little bit of it disrupted for me because of my travels across the country. But look, the opening night of the NBA, I enjoyed the hell out of. I didn't enjoy, the pregame protest, but I thought the Clippers-Lakers game, I thought it was a very good game. I thought they played the relatively clean basketball. I thought everybody played hard. I enjoyed the hell out of that game. LeBron hitting the game winner, a putback basically to win the game. I thought it was terrific.
The defense that he played on that final possession against both Kawhi and Paul George was pretty impressive.
Yeah, so enjoyed that. Sunday, I watched quite a bit of the golf. Justin Thomas winning and Brooks Koepka going into the water on 18. That was pretty enjoyable. I got to admit, Saturday, busy connecting with people here in Kansas City. That was my last stop before moving on to Nashville, later on Monday morning, or this morning actually. But look, I enjoy it. I love that sports are back. I know that this thing's going to be complicated. I think there's people already pushing for MLB should stop because some Cardinals players have now tested positive. I just hope we keep soldiering through. And look, I understand that there's some risk to it. I wish that everybody had been able to come up with a solution like the NBA's bubble. But I'm just hopeful. And this, I saw this weekend where you tweeted out about Iowa high school baseball never stopped.
Yeah,
they had fans. The teams played.
I talked about it at the end of the first hour of the show this morning. I mean, they had almost 30,000 people at their games, which is a 6-year high for Iowa high school baseball. And not that we're experts in Iowa high school baseball at all, but what I said, Jason, was this is a sign that there is a way to work sports and have it come back. And the kids, there are almost zero issues with the coronavirus.
Yeah, and so the fact that they continued on, even when they had a few rare cases, I just kind of think that's the path. And look, I'm not trying to be dismissive of the virus. I don't want anybody that's uncomfortable with the risk. I think we're now up to 8 New England Patriots have opted out. I got no problem. I'm not criticizing any of those guys, but I don't blame the NFL for saying, hey, we're going to soldier on. If you don't want to play, that's fine. No one's going to vilify you. No one's going to call you a wimp. It's the right decision for you and your family. But I just I'm hopeful coming out of this weekend and coming out of the last few days that we're going to figure out a way to have sports, and I think it's great.
We're talking to Jason Whitlock.
To gamble on, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I won another week of my TV show. It's always good to start off week one as a winner. Get some hay in the barn, so to speak. All right, so let's dive into the NBA. I started off, so I want to start with this question. You said you, like me, were watching some of the PGA, Brooks Koepka against Justin Thomas down the stretch. My argument is that golf probably, of all the sports, I would say, is maybe the least impacted by the coronavirus in terms of what it looks like when you watch it, right? Like even at that golf tournament, there were people watching from their yards. We didn't have the huge galleries at 18 and stuff like that. But arguably, it's just as good because you can see the way that the ground is laid out. You can see the hole even better. And I would argue that golf looks the best on television during the coronavirus in that it doesn't look that much different at all. But I actually think the visual perspective on the NBA games is the second best Because I watch the NBA and I think, hey, this doesn't look that bad. Even the digital pictures of the fans that they have up on billboards, the way that the court is set up, it doesn't feel like, even though they are playing in an empty arena, it doesn't feel like it based on the camera angles, which only show you all the guys on the bench, all the media kind of crew there, everything else. Do you agree with me that of the sports that are going on kind of on a daily basis now, that golf and the NBA purely, I'm not getting into the politics or anything else, purely from an aesthetic perspective, kicking back, putting your feet up and watching events, look the best right now, better than Major League Baseball or better than hockey?
I'm going to say 1,000% on golf.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, it's like the broadcasters basically whisper during a golf tournament. And so the fact that there's not a bunch of crowd noise and all that, none of that seems weird. And when I was watching golf, you just even kind of forget that there are no galleries. It just seems inconsequential. Here's where I'm going to push back on the NBA. And, yes, the NBA comes off probably a little better than hockey and Major League Baseball, but the NBA has made a huge mistake not putting these names on the back of jerseys.
Yeah.
First of all, take Charles Barkley. They have a game on TNT called Who He Play For.
Yeah.
And it's making fun of Charles Barkley, who follows the NBA for a living. He can't keep up with who's on a roster or not.
That's right.
Now you're expecting the casual fan, and that's what's the issue. It's like the casual fan with no names on the jersey. We know who LeBron is. We know who Kawhi Leonard is. We know who Paul George is.
That's right.
After that, for a lot of fans, they're out there guessing.
Yeah.
There's enough. Just got that rebound. Who's enough? and it's like, I was joking with some friends this weekend. It's like, they need to have Kevin Harlan and the broadcasters start calling these guys by the names, the social justice names on the back of their jerseys. Enough passes the ball to say their name. Say their name passes it to equality. Equality dunks over,
education
I'm
reform.
Just telling,
yeah,
education reform. It's confusing, and so that's why I think the NBA put these names on the back of their jerseys. That's where I would push back against the NBA. You got Black Lives Matter on the court. You're doing your little gesture before the game during the national anthem. Do we really need these names that add nothing, don't do anything? Can't we just figure out who the hell's out there on the court playing? And, that's something that I think a lot of fans, particularly casual fans, need.
I don't think there's any doubt, especially when you get to the playoffs and, whoever the teams are that advance. Many people out there will know the big superstars, right? But a lot of teams you don't watch that much. And so I'm with you where a couple of times I'll watch a game and I'll be squinting and I'll be like, who is that dude? Like, that was a nice play. Like, who was that? And, when I look on the back of the jersey and it says education reform or peace, I'm like, it's not helping me out too much. So I do agree there.